Thank you. Thank you for coming uh, on this unfortunate time. There's no better time for financial talk than Sunday morning. Yeah, but to encourage you and to make you interested, we will not be talking about some theoretical aspects of money management. I will show you how much money I'm making in my organization, and you will see exact numbers of Wikimedia Poland and how much do we earn, how much we spend, and how we do it. My name is Grzegorz. I'm a CEO of Wikimedia Poland, and I'll show you the demonstration on a living organism, which is our budget. So, uh, some people say that numbers are very boring, but in the but in the fact is that they are probably the only one real and objective, eternal and unchanging entities. We know that the number one exists, but no one saw it, right? You only saw the graphic example of number one, but you know that number one as number one exists somewhere else. So this is the where the philosophy of Greek ancient philosopher Plato starts, and it's the same belief that the tax office have and using during the approach to control you and your organizations. So when it comes to numbers and creating budget, everything looks like creating a story because behind the numbers there's a story, and it looks like every other story, like a novel or a movie. At the beginning, there's a exposition, and you have to know what your current state is, and then the action is rising. We'll go back to this. So the first step when it comes to budgeting is to check how we were doing in the past and where we are now. So this, for example, is how we were doing in 2023. As you see, in some categories, like the first one, we earn more money than we expected. We expected 1 million, and we earn 1,181,000. In other categories, it wasn't so good. But at the end, we make it till 99%. So we know where we were and what to expect in the next year. Now, this chart was for incomes, for our revenues. For example, 1 million is around 220,000 euros. Okay. And this is how we spend the money. That's not the whole budget. We have much more categories, but the screen is too small to show it. What you see here is the our departments, the open culture department and the community support department. What you see here in this column is the budget. What you see here is how much we spent and what's left. The colors show the percentage of use. So when it's green, it means we didn't touch the money. And the more red it is, we are closing to zero. So when you manage the budget, you towards your eye into colors, so you know how we do it. And it's obviously done automatically. I will tell you how. So the step two is realizing that there's a time for the plan for the next year. And that's where the action starts. So this is our revenue plan for 2024. As you see, the last year, In this category, we earn 1,181,000. This year, we wanted to make it up to 1,400,000. We did not, but we still made quite all right. And that's the rest of the categories. As you see, we are ambitious and we wanted to earn more money than last year. And it looks like we'll be doing all right. So in this step, it's the time to gather your resources. Like in a movie, when you have something to do, like, I don't know, Frodo and his friends started their journey. First, they gathered the team, the armory, the magic swords, and things like this. So this is the first step for creating the budget. You start with revenues to find out how much money you have to spend it. The better and more action is in the next step because you are working on spending the money. And so in this step, sorry, in this step, it's important to share all the budget into categories, into departments. And if you have a structure like us, you can leave everyday decisions to the department manager. So, for example, again, open culture department, there's a Camila, our open culture manager, and she knows that she's got, for example, 20,000 Polish zloty to spend on wiki residency programs, delegations, organizing events in museums, and so on. So when we update the budget every 2 weeks, Camila is looking at this and she sees that, okay, I still have, let's say, 10,000 in September, so I can still organize what I planned. And what is really helpful is these categories in column number 1. I'll show you how it's improve and makes all things automatic. So usually at the beginning is everything okay, but then problems arise. And now we're skipping to the real spreadsheet that I'm working on every day. So I will show you our real budget, and it's open to the public because we are transparent, and everyone who wants to know how much money we spend and what we do with the money. For example, you can go to this page, which is the registry of all agreements we sign every year. You can do things like Control F, type my name, and you see that in, for example, January, I sign an appendix to my work contract, like other employees, and this is my monthly earning. You'll also see that I sign another contract for this amount of money. So this is open to the public and everyone can go there. It's all, we got also this kind of site where we have all these plans and all reports, yearly reports that we send to the state and to other organizations, and everyone can have a look how we're doing. So let's go to the budget. So the whole budget looks like this. You see, we have 5 departments. There's open culture, community support, open education and science, communication and fundraising, administration. This is out of departments. It's for uh, uh, things like the anti-burnout program, uh, and some others like, I don't know, buying a study for an employee, or volunteer workshops and things like this. And this is our reserve. If something comes out during the month, during the year, we have this optional spendings here. So we are in September, and as you see, the colors are more and more red and less green. So it means uh, managers of these departments are spending the money. It also means that the plans and programs they do are running. If there's somewhere a green color, that's a warning that I see, and Anki said, hey, why do you don't spend money from these categories? It could be like, oh, I forgot about this, but it usually is that, no, we postponed the program for the winter, or we decided to do it in December. So this way, it's easy to look how employees are doing. And when it comes to small amounts, they don't have to ask us if they can spend it. They see it in the budget, how much money they have, how much money they spend, what's left, and they can do it. Obviously, if they can buy something more expensive than, I don't know, the tickets and services for delegation, they usually ask. But trust is one of the bases of our organizational culture. The managers are doing quite all right, and they feel good when they can do it and in this way. So this is the budget. These are the categories in column A. And why it's so important to have these categories? Because when I update all the transaction we're making in this tab, I can't show you the tab because there's lots of personal data. So I will go here. It's the same, but the ChatGPT changed the names into just random symbols. So we will not reveal, I don't know, secret information and fragile information. So these are all transactions we make. But this is all the spendings until a week ago. And as you see here, there are categories. And this is amount, how much we spent. This is the name of the service provider we paid. And this is the invoice number that goes with it. So when you look at this, for example, spending, the category is W11. You go back to the budget, you see here, there's a category W11 means subscriptions. It's for Wikimedians who wants us to buy them access to magazines, to databases. So we have special budget for this. And every time we purchase anything, we put here W11. It means that it's automatically updated here. So we started the year with 6,000 zloty. We have already spent 1,700. So it's still 4,000 left. So Marek, our organizational specialist, knows that there's still money, and if any Wikipedian comes and asks, buy me an access to Birds of the World database, Marek knows that there's still money and he can buy it for him. So as you see, this is our whole year. We are making around 200 transactions a month. and the number is rising. It scares me a bit because this makes our accountancy costs higher. So when it comes to spending, not only this part is automatically updated. We have other tabs and other very important financial information that needs to be updated also automatically. So as you know, we are fiscal sponsor of CE Hub. So all CE Hub transactions go through our bank, and it's the same. When I update the budget, the all transaction, Barbara knows that we spent this amount already in this category. So she's got this amount for her needs, and she can still use it or stop using and move this money into other category. We also have a grant from foundation. So instead of writing report at the end, the very last week of the reporting time, we do it every day because that's the budget of the grant, and it's also updated automatically. As you see, this is the money we got. This is the money we got from Wikimedia Foundation, and this is how much we spent. This is left, and it's also done automatically, which is very important and saves us lots of time. And it's all made by very simple formulas. Everyone, not only spreadsheet ninjas, can create these formulas. So and it's everything for free. So you could also buy very expensive tools to financial management, but I guess for NGO like us, it would be just not necessarily spend money. So, but there are not only transactions coming outside. We got also transactions coming inside. So we also update the all revenues that we got. So the last revenue update was on was a week ago. So again, ChatGPT changed the names here. I asked it to do it, and it did very well. So the amounts here are real, the names here are not. So these people make donations to Wikimedia Poland, and we also have different categories here. Like we have a category of donation from private people, we have grants, we have the category of the services we provide and we charge for, and so on. So as you see, it looks almost the same like transactions that go outside, but the change is that there is no minus here, but it's a plus. So how are we doing with revenues this year? As you see, this is, for example, the amount we expected, and this is amount we got. And that's it, because we know that the campaign is finished. So we made only 88% this year, which is quite disappointing, but we're not panicking. But this is the most important category when it comes to our financials. It's a campaign addressed to taxpayers. It goes like every year you have to obviously report your taxes to the state, and you are allowed to point one NGO organization which you want to give your 1% of a tax. So we have a group of regular taxpayers. It's around 8,000 of them in whole Poland who do it every year. It looks like the number is going a bit down. We think it's about it was probably about the situation in Ukraine when some people switched into supporting refugees, but it also it's very important to look at the changes in tax regulations, and sadly said, but the Wikipedians are not getting younger. So this is probably the generation that it's not around 25, 35. It's more like 50, 60. And we know that simply some of them are passing out. So this is how it looks this year, how we doing. As you see, the more green, the better we're doing. So for example, when it comes to the services we provide and we charge, we did very well so far. We wanted to earn 25,000. We already made 32,000. The same is with, for example, financial incomes. We invest part of the money into national bonds, treasury bonds. So we plan to earn 100,000. We made almost exactly the same number. So in September, we are at this point. So we gathered 91% of the money we expected. So with this spreadsheet, you can do everything. For example, you can create diagrams. If your board is, and it is probably made out of volunteers, they don't have time to study every transaction. So the chair, he just looks at this page and he sees that, oh, this year we're going like this with revenues. And the structure of revenues is one of the most important thing for us, because we used to depend mostly on the taxpayers and on grants from Wikimedia Foundation. So we only had two serious incomes. But this graph shows that it's changing, and it's changing quite rapidly. So the campaign makes only 58%, and Wikimedia Foundation makes only 22%. And these numbers are getting lower. So it means we are earning more money from other sources. And that's one of our strategic goals, to make better in all these small categories. So that's how it looks when it comes to revenues. And as I said, with the spreadsheet, you could do everything when it comes to graphs and when it comes to showing how you're doing. For example, we don't have to worry about money liquidity yet, because we have two major transactions coming a year. The grant from Wikimedia Foundation at the beginning of the year, and the transfer from taxpayers in the middle of the year. So we know that this money will come, and it's not like in a company that, well, I used to run a company, so we were selling services, and we hope that our customers will pay on time, so we will have money to pay our employees, right? We don't have to worry about this yet in Wikimedia Poland, because the date of transfer incoming are known, and we more or less expect how much will it come. So it looks like you know everything about the budget. We can go back to the slides. So everything in this spreadsheet is based on very simple formulas. And don't be afraid of using spreadsheet, because even if you don't know how to do that, you all have enough imagination to ask Google or ChatGPT. And if you know what spreadsheet is for, you will know how to ask the question. So every year and the trouble and unexpected circumstances are coming. It's, as I said, like in the movie. So we also have to be prepared to fight with any troubles. Like a year ago, we organized, you probably know, the Guinness World Record in longest editathon. So we expected 50 people to come. That was in the middle of the week, so people had to take off from their work. So we hope that 50 people will come and will do it. So we booked accommodation and catering for 50 people. At the very last days, it appeared that there are 127 people, but the budget was for 50 people. And it was September, so most of the money was spent, but still there was time to make changes in the budget because we had some reserve and we still have money left in other categories. So we ask employees, do they really need it? Can they postpone the spendings? So the additional money for this event were huge. We expected to spend around 70,000, but we spent almost 200,000. Yeah, but even this amount didn't make a huge gap in the budget because we started to switch the spendings, and it looks like we more or less succeeded in this. So this year, for example, when you see the budget of community support, you see red colors. So we have already spent much more in category W16, which is the participation, community participation in international events. Most of this money was spent on the Wikimedia and for the accommodation for Polish community. We plan to spend 90,000. We have already spent more than 100,000, but I'm quite calm with it because I know that among these spendings, we purchase services and things for Wikimedia Foundation, so they will reimburse us and we will get some money back. So not panicking is one of the major tip I got. Wikimedians and people around Wikimedia have imagination. They are smart and they will come out of every trouble. So the climax, as every movie, there's a climax and you realize that you succeed or you fail. And it's when the report from your accountant is coming. We more or less know how much we spend. The numbers are quite exact, but it's accountant at the end of the year that is making the report knows better. It's much more complicated to create an accounting report for state institutions. We have lots of transactions in foreign currencies, for example, and it make at the end of the year uh, exchange rate make bigger or smaller, but it always makes quite a difference to the financial report. But the difference is not that high that we should worry. Okay, so and at the end, as in every movie, uh, there's a small amount of time for resolution when the main hero or main character in the movie realized that he succeeded because of the values that he believed or the support he got, and that's how where the support in Wikimedia Poland is coming from. And yeah, I got a list of tips. So when you create the budget, you always start with your past spendings and past revenues. The worst thing that could happen is that let's say the September or October is coming and you realize that you forget about something in your budget that you paid in late at the year and you didn't plan the money for it. So planning based on the past is minimizing this risk. It's obvious that you start planning first with revenues, the incomes, so you know how much money you have. When it comes to spending and making plans of spending, you start with fixed costs. It means the cost you have to pay. It's salaries, it's office rent, it's taxes, and things like this. It's good to divide budgets into categories and groups, and iron spending and some kind of reserve, but don't be too general. But on the other side, don't be too detailed. I remember years ago, we even reported the spendings divided into tea and coffee. So these categories were involved in reporting. Now, it's enough if you have one category for office maintenance. So it means rent, it means coffee, milk, and paper for your printer. Uh, that's enough. Yeah, update the spendings and the revenue regularly and observe what happens with all the money. I do it, at least I try to do every 2 weeks. Uh, it still can't be done fully automatically because I have to log into our bank account, uh, create a file, and then pass the file into our budget. I can't do it through I can't do it through ChatGPT because I will not give ChatGPT my login to the bank system. There are always additional costs. For example, when it comes to salaries, you have to obviously remember that there are additional taxes and social security costs. As I said, don't be afraid of spreadsheet. Use your imagination. They are simple and they are fun. So yeah. Everyone can do it. I can do it. It means that everyone can do that. Be transparent internally and outside. So uh, people will trust you. The people that gives you money will trust you because they see how you spend it, and your employees will trust you because they also see how you spend the money. They can even compare how much money every employee is making every year. So that clears the atmosphere in the organization. Uh, on the other hand, it could be the source of trouble, but that's another type of management. Be flexible and don't panic if anything happens. Uh, Everything can be fixed, and trust your coworkers. So that's it. Do you have any questions, remarks? Yeah.
Okay. I have one more question that how you work together with the bookkeeper. It's because you do these tables which are basically what the bookkeeper would do, just changing into the legal framework, but you give this table to the bookkeeper and use this table as these are the two questions.
Yeah. So no, let me come back here. Yeah. We reporting every year how we spend the money and if we did it according to the budget or not. So that's this one. You see, that's the report for 2023, and you see the percentage of uh, of the plan which is done or which some in some category was not done. And this is this is just a total view on the budget, but you got the same view. You got the same view here. And because we are working on yearly plans, we almost don't do anything which is not expected. It almost doesn't happen. It could happen that we spend on one particular project much more money, but we don't add new projects during the year if they were not planned.
So if during the year somebody come to you that we have a great idea in
Yeah, yeah,
we
we have to refuse. I mean, yeah, we
okay.
have a line of organizations that are coming, and that's true. The line is bigger every year. They coming during the year and ask, "Hey, we got great idea. Let's do it together." And we usually say, "Yeah, we could do it, but next year." Yeah, we're really sorry about because they sometimes have really great ideas, but you can't do everything with limited resources. And the other question was about the bookkeeper. Yeah, we have a accounting office that does all the accounting. So the accountant's got access to the spreadsheet and he looks at all the transactions and he reports it every month. And he also got access to our cloud folder with all the invoices. This cloud folder is divided into months. So he's sitting in his office, he clicks, he sees if we got all the invoices. If something is missing, uh, he calls me and he says, "Where's the invoice for this?" So this is, for example, this column is for ticking. Yeah, we got invoice for this. So as you see, I haven't updated this column yet, but when we go to August, you see that everything is okay. Okay. Do we have time for another question? Okay. So thank you very much. Yeah, that was an unfortunate time, but you woke up and came. Thank you.